In today's story, we explore one of the most painful and universal struggles a person can carry through life: the feeling of not being enough, not smart enough, not attractive enough, not successful enough, not worthy enough. This is the story of someone who spent years believing they had to earn their value, until one quiet moment showed them the truth they had been searching for all along. This is the story of Mara. Mara grew up trying her best to make everyone around her proud. Her parents, her teachers, her friends. She wanted to be the person they expected her to be. She worked hard, smiled often, and learned how to become exactly what people wanted. She achieved so much, yet somehow, she always felt like she was falling short. Compliments never stayed. Praise never sank in. Every mistake felt like evidence that she wasn't enough. Even as an adult, the habit followed her. At work, she shouldered more than she could handle so people would see her as responsible. In relationships, she stayed quiet to avoid conflict, afraid that being honest would push people away. And when she looked at herself in the mirror, she didn't see a whole person, only a list of flaws she hoped no one else noticed. One afternoon, after a long, exhausting day, Mara attended her friend's small art exhibit. She almost didn't go. She felt drained and out of place. But she didn't want to disappoint her friend. The gallery was filled with warm lights and quiet music. People wandered around, admiring the paintings. Mara walked slowly from frame to frame, pretending to study the artwork, but her mind was elsewhere, replaying every moment she wished she had done better. At work, in her relationships, in her life. Then, she stopped in front of a painting that felt strangely familiar. It showed a young girl standing in front of a cracked mirror. The reflection was broken into pieces, each piece showing a slightly different version of her. One looked confident, one looked afraid, one looked angry, one looked lost. But the girl in the center, the real girl, was just standing there, holding the mirror with both hands, as if trying to understand who she truly was. Mara stared at it for a long time. The artist, her friend, quietly walked up beside her and said, "That's one of my favorites. It's about how we see ourselves in fragments. We forget that we're more than the pieces we judge." Mara continued staring. Her voice wavered. "I feel like that girl. Like no matter what I do, I never get the reflection quite right." Her friend didn't try to fix her, didn't say she was wrong, didn't offer empty comfort. Instead, she said gently, "Maybe it's not the reflection that's wrong. Maybe it's the expectations you compare it to." Those words landed deep. Later that evening, Mara returned home. She sat on her bed, replaying the moment in front of the painting. She started to realize how long she had been chasing worth outside herself, in achievements, in approval, in comparison. And slowly, something inside her softened. The next morning, for the first time in a very long time, she decided to do something small, but brave. She wrote a list, not of goals, not of tasks, but of truths she had ignored. "I try hard. I care deeply. I show up. I learn. I heal. I keep going." She read the list again and felt a quiet shift, a kind of peace she wasn't used to. As the weeks passed, Mara made small changes. She stopped apologizing for things that weren't her fault. She said no when she needed rest instead of pushing herself to exhaustion. She allowed herself to speak honestly with people she cared about. Not everyone understood, but the ones who mattered stayed. And something remarkable happened. The more she accepted herself, the less she needed to prove anything. She no longer rushed to fill silence with nervous explanations. She no longer compared her journey to others. She no longer felt the need to be perfect just to feel worthy. She started to see herself clearly, not through the broken pieces, but as a whole person. One afternoon, months later, Mara visited the same art gallery again. The painting that once made her feel exposed now made her feel understood. She looked at it and whispered something she never imagined she could say. "I am enough. I always was." And in that moment, she realized something powerful. Your worth doesn't come from what you achieve. It doesn't come from who approves of you. It doesn't disappear when you make mistakes. You do not earn your value. You carry it, always, simply by being who you are. If you're listening to this and you've spent years feeling like you're not enough, let this be the moment that shifts something inside you. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to chase people's approval. You don't need to fix every flaw or silence every insecurity. You are enough right now. Not someday. Not after you improve. Not when you finally get everything right. Right now, as you are. And the day you realize that, your entire life begins to change.